Unless you're bringing me another round, you can just keep walking.
Now I remember. You're that new member of the Companions. So you...
Captain Gjalland does the business around here. I'm just a ship's mate.
Talk to Captain Gjalland if you're looking for capacity.
Thanks. I wasn't sure I'd make it off this farm alive. I wish I could have said the same for my man here. Some of the Redoran Guard have taken to calling them ash spawn. Me, I don't care what they're called. All I know is they're a danger to Raven Rock and they need to be stopped. I was going to search for clues that might lead me to wherever they're coming from. I know it isn't the best place to start, but we know they've been coming from this direction. Good. I can use all the help I can get. Besides, I don't feel comfortable leaving Raven Rock behind, and I'd hate to lose any more Veteran Guard. We were searching the farm when the ash spawn ambushed us. Have a look around and see if you can turn up anything useful. No one knows, really. Superstitious folks say they're the risen forms of those that died long ago, but I'm not so certain. They started attacking the bulwark a few weeks ago. My men were able to kill them, but they keep coming back. We've had 2 other assaults on the bulwark, at different spots on the wall. I know it sounds crazy, but it's almost like they're becoming more organized and probing it for weaknesses. Exactly. Something has to be directing them against us, and we need to find out who or what it is. I don't. All I know is that the ash spawn are coming from this direction, so this is as good a place to start as anywhere else. Good thing the farm's been abandoned for a long time. I'd hate to see what they would do to an unarmed farmer and his family. Not sure. I was told it was an old Imperial farm that was wiped out by the eruption of the Red Mountain. Not certain who lived there. It was already a pile of rubble when I arrived in Raven Rock. This is strange. The note says it's from General Falks Carius, but that's impossible. Well, Carius was the Imperial garrison commander at Fort Frostmoth, but he died over 200 years ago when the Red Mountain leveled the place. There's no way he could still be alive. If General Carius is still alive, there must be something keeping him that way. I need you to head out to Fort Frostmoth and check it out. I'm gonna head back to Raven Rock and prepare the men for further assaults. I've had to muster some more men to protect the mine, but I don't really have a problem with that. Second Councillor Arano is concerned that once word reaches the Reavers that the mine has reopened, they might think about paying us a visit. I say let them try. My men are ready for them. I might know someone, or maybe not. I can't remember. I can't. I just can't be sure. I think maybe he had something to do with a temple. A temple here on the island. Does that help? No one... They started attacking the bulwark a few weeks ago. My men were able to kill them, but they... keep coming back. Modin Veleth, Captain of the Veteran Guard, at your service. Be careful. It's General Carius.
Look at those ruins. Think there's gold inside?
Damn it. What am I going to do? With me? What's the matter with you? Sorry, I've just had a lot of whore-faced cowards coming by to mock my efforts. It probably can't hurt to tell you. You look mostly honest. The name's Rollis. Rollis Sedaris, out of Moorhold. I've got a financier waiting for me back on the mainland. Sent me here in the interests of obtaining some rare antiquities. The relics of Arzador. But this whole thing became a disaster right quick, let me tell you. You come out of the Northern Ashlands, you don't expect things to go easy, you know. But this was something outside my particular expertise. When I first got to Kolbjorn, you couldn't even see it. Buried in the ash, like most other things on this blasted island. Dug out a pile of the stuff taller than me just to find the barrel. Who knows how much to reach the door? Excavating isn't exactly my specialty. Even if it was, the ash storms fill it in faster than you can dig. You think I've got that kind of money? No, I only get paid on delivery. Can't afford to go out of pocket for 1,000 septims on this. Takes money to make money, all that rot. There's a lot of it at the other end. But I can't get there without a little kick to start it off. You ever hear of Arzador? He was the first great Nord enchanter, maybe even the first human to master elven methods. His best work was buried with him, though. A set that my patron calls the relics are supposed to be down in his tomb. Now, they're old, and they're powerful. A combination like that makes them pretty valuable to certain people. And I happen to know certain people. What? Are you serious? Well, I think I could make that work. We can sort out the details about an arrangement later. But for now, I'll manage the dig if you can manage the coin. Do you have the gold? It's all here. Well then, looks like I have a good bit of work to start on. I'll head back to Raven Rock and round up some diggers. Once we've got something worth looking at, I'll send word to you. Pleasure doing business with you, partner. I'll see you soon. Look, this can be a slow business. Digging takes time. Come around later and I'll have something more interesting to show.
someday. Get myself a place on the mainland.
Just one more bottle. Maybe a second one. To get to sleep.
I should go back to picking pockets in Windhelm. Easy money, less chance of an axe in your skull.
She was real surprised when I pulled that knife from my boot. He's got your eyes, she says. Lying tramp.
Ain't going back to prison. Rather die in the ash.
I've almost got enough. Just need one good haul.
Calling my bluff when he rolls dragon eyes. The fool.
Hail and needs is the only advice a sailor heeds.
Told him to just hand it over, but did he listen? Oh no. He had to fight back. I should go back to picking pockets in Windhelm. Easy money, less chance of an axe in your skull. Just one more bottle. Maybe a second one to get to sleep.
Damn business. Not good enough for your precious college.
What do you need?
Okay, got it. Okay, got it. Okay, got it.
Men, an invader has entered the fort. Lord Frostmoth will never fall. Long live the Empire! That's the best you can do?
don't like the looks of this.
Mine. Long live the Empire! Enemies of the Empire will That's fall. It! That's our best! This will all be over soon. That's all you got? Son of a... I'll see you hanged from the ramparts. It's nothing.
What do you need? Okay, got it. Okay, got it.
What news do you bring from Fort Frostmoth? I had my suspicions that he was undead. How else could he have survived for over 200 years? It's a shame. There are quite a few tales of General Curious' exploits, including the founding of Raven Rock. Councillor Morvain told me to give this to you if you made it back in one piece. And you got rid of General Curious. Better than a soldier's pay, so you should be thankful. I'm sorry to bother you, but Second Councillor Rano asked me to come find you. He said it's quite urgent. All he wanted me to do is track you down and send you to him. Look, this is important. Even more important than wiping out the Ash Spawn. Please, go speak to the Second Councillor as soon as possible.
I'm glad to lend a hand.
You must be using quite a bit of your raw materials repairing their weapons and armor. I'm sorry we can't compensate you.
Not to worry, Adro. I'll recover my losses in due time.
Ori, you need to sense into your husband.
You can't get blood from a stone, Mogan. As it is, we can barely...
That isn't my... I was clear when I loaned Garwin the money that I... my first harvest.
Let's see what I...
I'll give you this warning only once. Stay out of my way, and we'll do just fine. No, wait. I recognize the name, but I'm not sure why. I don't know. I feel strange just thinking about it. A temple, maybe. Here on the island, something about a temple? Fight well.
I work for Mogrul. You got a problem, you talk to him. Mogrul doesn't lend coin to outlanders. Look somewhere else.
I don't know who sent you here, but you've given us something to build on here. I hope someday we can repay you for your kindness. After we left Morrowind, we found ourselves in Skyrim. We wandered around a bit and ended up in Morthal, where we took up temporary residence with Lami, the town's alchemist. I was fascinated by her work, and over a period of a few years, she taught me quite a bit. It wasn't long before we became homesick. We were the only Dunmer in Morthal. When word reached us that a settlement of Dunmer was forming on Solstheim, we were thrilled. It's been difficult, but I'm not regretting it one bit. In fact, I'm glad we've been able to stay and help. As you can imagine, the eruption of the Red Mountain took an awful toll on Solstheim. Hunting for game has been scarce, and the waters are apparently too tainted for fishing. According to Councillor Morvain, my husband's been Raven Rock's most important food source for decades. Yes, I'm proud to say that I grow or harvest most of it myself. I only wish I had a better source for netch jelly. Those creatures are difficult to track down since it's so dangerous beyond the bulwark. That would be splendid. I'd be more than happy to give you something for the effort. There's nothing more I can teach you. I don't think so, though it sounds like a name I've heard before. I hear that name, and I see a temple here on Solstheim. What could that mean? Ah, so you're an alchemist then? Careful with those netches. They may look tame, but they can seriously hurt you when threatened.
I'll give you this warning only once.
Your
Stay out of my
actions
way,
here have been a
and we'll
blessing
do
to
just
us all,
fine.
Sergio. The Dunmer have been growing food in the Ashlands for thousands of years. It was born out of the necessity to survive in the harsh climate of our homeland. And now, with the constant eruptions of the Red Mountain, it's more important than ever. No, only the Telvanni have the ability to weave living growth from the ash. This simply takes the right ingredients, the right tools, and a lot of patience. If the quality's right, I'll take those off your hands. Let me take a look. I think so, but I can't remember how I know him. Or maybe I'm wrong. I'm not sure. I think so. But the only thing that comes to mind is a shrine near the Earthstone. Next time you're hungry, stop by. I always have plenty of food for sale.
something! Get him! Help me! Help me!
Thank you for coming. After everything you've already done for Raven Rock, I hate to ask for more, but I can't risk Councillor Morvain being killed. The Ulan family of House Lalu, a rival great house, has placed a death mark on the Councillor's head. It's a private matter. Let's just say they seek revenge for the execution of one of their own, ordered by Councillor Morvain himself. The problem is I don't have any solid proof that anyone from House Lalu is hidden among us. Only my suspicions. May be justified, but it certainly isn't appreciated. Councillor Morvain simply feels that I'm being paranoid. I'm afraid that one day I'll awaken and discover him dead. And I don't want it to come to that. I do. I've received some information from my sources that there could be elements of Ulan's house, House Lalu, already in Raven Rock. Raven Rock is a small settlement, so it's hard to accomplish anything in secret. If any of them is from House Lalu, I wouldn't be able to make a move without them knowing. I had a feeling you'd be willing to listen to me. I need you to start out by being my eyes and ears. Search Raven Rock. See if you can root out these traitors. The best place to start would be Geldis Sadri, over at the Retching Netch Corner Club. If he provides you any leads, check them out before bringing them to my attention. I can't afford to make any mistakes. After everything you've already done for Raven Rock, I hate to ask for more, but I can't risk Councillor Morvain being killed. The Ulan... It's a private... The problem is I don't have any solid proof. Now that's just ridiculous. As second councillor, it's my responsibility to protect Councillor Morvain from harm. I'm afraid that one day I'll awaken and discover him dead. I don't want it to come to that. I appreciate... After everything you've already done for Raven Rock, I hate to ask for more, but I can't risk Councillor Morvain being killed. The Ulan family of House Lab. It's a private... The problem is I don't have any solid proof. Maybe just... I'm afraid that one day... I do. Raven Rock, if any of them. I had a feeling you'd... I need you to start out by being the best place. If he provides you any leads, check them out before bringing them to my attention. Can't afford to make any mistakes. Traitors, the lot of them. Their collaboration with the Empire may have given them unrivaled political and economic strength, but their hearts weren't with the Dunmer people. Lalu deserved every bit of hatred they received once the Empire released its grasp on Morrowind. Having past ties to the Empire immediately turned them into the scapegoat for the Dunmer people's suffering. They had welcomed the Empire with open arms and benefited from it. When everything was said and done, they were no longer recognized as a great house and were dismissed from the council. During the Oblivion Crisis, gates to the Plane of Oblivion opened all over Morrowind. The Empire pulled most of its forces out of Morrowind to deal with the gates in their own homeland, leaving us virtually defenseless. We had no standing army at the time, just uncoordinated pockets of resistance. House Redoran took charge and was slowly able to build an army. It took years, but it became a force to be reckoned with. When the Argonians invaded years later, House Redoran's army was able to prevent them from sweeping across all of Morrowind. It would be fair to say that House Redoran literally saved the Dunmer people from destruction. I maintain a few contacts in other Dunmer settlements across Tamriel. Most hail from House Redoran, but there are a few from other houses. Most of my contacts live leagues away from Solstheim. Sending the occasional message back and forth is all we can manage, and sometimes takes months or more to arrive. However, any information we can glean in times like this, I consider vital to House Redoran's survival. You might think it's all perfume and roses now that the mine's open. But all I see is a new security problem on our hands. Making sure those shipments of ebony make it safely from the mine to the shipping docks is my new order of the day. And with Solstheim crawling with reavers and Azora knows what else, can't risk any attacks on Ravenrock. I'm unsure. I swear I know the name, but I cannot place it. I don't think so. I'm not... The name has something to do with the Earthstone, I think, but I'm not sure what. Don't worry. You can trust Geldis. He's been with us for a long time. Not much contact with others around here. Got the Skull village to the north, but the Nords there keep to themselves. Stand aside, Outlander.
I work. Huh?
Teldrin Cerro, blade for hire. If you have the coin, I'm at your service. Now, if you'll excuse me,
Welcome to the Retching Netch Corner Club, my lord. If you need anything, Master Geldis will be happy to help you. We have all sorts of authentic dark elf food and drink here. Geldis spares no expense. Did I know someone by that name? Someone that wanted something. Maybe I'm just confused. I can't be sure. Welcome to the Retching Netch Corner Club, home of the finest Sioux jammer that will ever grace your lips. How do you think? It's a blessing. I've got regular paying customers again. Thirsty workers at the end of the day, and more coin than I can count. There's actually a funny story behind the name, friend. A few years ago, I was walking down by the docks, and I noticed a Dunmer staggering along with a bottle of Sioux jammer in hand. He was one of my patrons and liked to drink heavily, so I wasn't exactly surprised. But you see, this particular Dunmer was as naked as the day he was born and singing badly at the top of his lungs. As I'm watching this spectacle, a netch floats over the bulwark towards him. The man looks straight up at the netch, yells, "Have a drink!" and tosses the bottle. And it never hit the ground. Well, the bottle broke on the netch, and it must have swallowed its contents because it started floating sort of tilted. Finally, it stopped and began to quiver. A few moments later, the foulest liquid to ever assail your nostrils spewed from its maw. I've seen plenty of drunks in me day, and I'll tell you right now, that netch was sick. True story, friend. True story. Safe travels, Outlander. Watch yourself out there. The mine's open, people are buying drinks, and I'm making money again. Just like old times. Well, well, Adril's got himself a spy, does he? Well, Zura knows he needs all the help he can get. He's been chasing the Ulins for years now. No, I just think he's going about this the wrong way. Actually, I do. If you want to catch those slippery slaughterfish, you need to let them come to you. There's an Ulin ancestral tomb near the temple. Someone's been leaving ash yam offerings on the altar inside. If you were to wait inside for whomever that is, I'm betting they'll have some of the answers you're looking for. What makes you think I haven't? Anytime Adril and the Redoran Guard made a move, the Ulins must have been one step ahead and didn't show up. You can thank me if it works. Until then, I'd head to the tomb and wait until your visitor shows up. When a Dunmer is laid to rest, the body is burned and returned to the ashen soil. Since the ash yam is born of the very same soil, it represents rebirth and renewal, the fact that life ends and begins anew. Back in 95, Vila Ulin came to Raven Rock with a plan to take over our town. But Fetcher thought he could stir up the locals and use them against the Redoran Guard, and then murder Consular Morvain when we weren't looking. He arrived alone, but spread enough coin around to start changing people's minds. Half a bloody town joined his side. Can you believe that? He underestimated the Redoran Guard. They were organized and brought a swift end to the coup. Vila tried to run, but he was caught by Captain Veleth himself. Vila Ulin was executed a short time later, and his remains placed in the Ulin ancestral tomb. Safe travels, Outlander.
It's busier now that things are starting to look up. I guess I might stay a bit longer after all.
You've been a good friend to me. That means something. You got a good thing going here now that you've reopened the mines. Don't let it go to waste. Glover Mallory's the name. If you're looking for a smith, you found one of the best.
Your actions here have been a blessing to us all, Sergio.
Either you're here to get showered in sparks, or you're looking for something to buy. Out with it.
You've brought Raven Rock back from the brink, traveler. I don't know how to thank you. You got a good thing going here now that you've reopened the mines. Don't let it go to waste. Don't even think about it. Ah, excuse me. I didn't realize there was anyone else here. I presume the same thing you're doing, leaving an offering for the departed. Forgive my surprise. It's just that I wouldn't expect that sort of behavior from someone who isn't Dunmer. Since there aren't any Ulans left on this island, I've taken it upon myself to leave the traditional offering in their stead. What do you mean? I thought I was clear. I'm simply honoring a fellow departed Dunmer. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'd like to meditate a bit. Excuse me. I didn't realize there was anyone else here. I presume this... Forgive my surprise. Since there aren't any Ulans left on this... What kind of nonsense is that? I'm simply honoring a fellow departed Dunmer, and you hurl baseless accusations at me? Now, if you'll excuse me, I'd like to meditate a bit. Excuse me. I didn't realize there was anyone else here. I presume this... Forgive my surprise. Since there aren't any Ulans left on this island, I've taken it upon myself to leave the Oh, no bother. We all have a right to be here. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'd like to meditate a bit. Please, I don't wish to be disturbed while I'm meditating. Don't even think about it. Please, I don't wish to be disturbed while I'm meditating.
I hope Gelder's proved useful. Have you made any progress? Telesu. Are you sure? So Geldus's plan worked, eh? Every time we tried it, no one would ever show up. If Telesu's involved in any sort of plot to harm Councillor Morvain, I'm going to need hard evidence to prove it. I'm not kicking down anyone's door until I have solid evidence in hand. If you're wrong about Telesu, things would quickly go downhill around here, and the real culprits might slip away. I can't afford for that to happen. If you have evidence and it places your life in peril, I would expect you to do whatever you must to keep yourself alive. Here, this key should open the front door of the manor in case they've locked it. Good luck. Be careful. If the Septons have betrayed us, then they'll be well armed.
someone there. For how flawless are you to
Hey, be careful!
No. It's not my time.
Did you find any evidence at Severin Manor yet? Telesu is wife to the family patriarch Vendel. They have a single child, a daughter named Miri. They arrived here 10 years ago and have been nothing but a benefit to Raven Rock ever since. They are quite wealthy and they've been quite generous by sharing their fortune with the community. They've contributed coin, food, supplies, even helped repair a few of the buildings in town with their own hands. People have mentioned it's a bit odd about how close in age Mary appears to be to her father, but that's hardly a cause for alarm. Just make sure you find solid evidence. If I accuse them without it, I'll be the laughing stock of the colony. Then we finally have them. All that remains now is chasing them down and bringing them to justice. Good. I'm going to send 2 of the best Reverend Guard we have to take them down. I want you to assist them any way you can. See that you do. We can't afford to let these traitors slip away. Ashfallow Citadel's been abandoned for a long time. Ready for it.
We've got our eyes